Good morning. So, very good morning to all of you. So, in the last class, we had studied certain things, we had discussed a few things. Can anybody just tell me what all things we discussed in the last class? Just a second. Pardon me. Because of my ill health, I have been facing a lot of problems while taking a class. Yes, in the last class, we had discussed a few things. All these topics which you are able to see, that is apply formatting features, session 3 of digital documentation, that is unit 6 of your textbook. No, sorry, unit 8 of your textbook. So we have been doing all these and we had completed till superscript and subscript, and we had already seen all these in LibreOffice Writer, and now we are seeing discussing all these in Word. So we are going to see formatting paragraphs today. So for that purpose only, I have this document over here, as you can see. Just a sec. So we have this document over here, and how will you find out how many paragraphs are there? So I'm going to switch on this paragraph marker over here, that is show the non-printable characters in your document. So I'm going to switch on this, and now you can figure out how many paragraphs are there. Can you count? Yes, come on, tell me. How many paragraphs can you see here? This is one, then a blank paragraph, two, three, four, five, six, then here seven,
Total
eight,
7.
9 and 10. 10 paragraphs. You have to count these paragraph markers, students. These marks which you see, end of paragraph markers, which you are seeing here, you have to count them. Okay, including the blank paragraphs, whichever there are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A total of 10 paragraphs are there in this document. And we are going to switch this off. It is a toggle button, as you can see. It's a toggle button, as you can see over here in the home tab paragraph group. Okay, so now we are going to see some of the paragraph formatting options. You can see the paragraph formatting options over here. This is bullets, this is numbering, this is multi-level list, this is decrease indent, this is increase indent, this is sorting, okay, this is paragraph marker, these are the alignment buttons, this is for line and paragraph spacing, as you can see over here, and these are paragraph shading and borders. Okay, so we are going to apply all these features. So first we start with paragraph alignment. Okay, so I'm going to select this paragraph over here. Mm, Somehow it has taken up the extend selection mode. I'm trying to switch that off. Okay. So now I'm going to select this paragraph over here. As you can see, the paragraph is selected. Currently, what is the alignment which is given to the paragraph? Can anybody tell me? Which alignment is applied on the paragraph? Yes.
Left alignment.
Which alignment is this? You can see the left side is completely even, but the right side is uneven. So this paragraph is aligned towards the left side. This is
Left
left alignment.
side.
Okay, and you can see it over here also that the alignment is left. And its shortcut key is what? Control L, right? Next is center. This is center alignment, and you can see both the sides are uneven. Both the sides are uneven, and all the text is aligned towards the center. And its shortcut key is Control E. Then next is right alignment. So here you can see that the right side is completely even, the left side is uneven. And the last one is justify, that is both sides are even. So this justified alignment is the one which is most commonly used. Let's see the shortcut key combinations also. Students, again and again, I keep repeating, it is very essential that you people practice all the shortcut key combinations. Okay. Okay. So here we are. I'm going to select this paragraph. And now you can see in the keyboard, virtual keyboard, this is Control L. Already it is left aligned. Okay. Then Control E, you can see this is center align, and Control R, you can see right align, and Control J, this is justify alignment. Got it? Now, after this, we have line spacing. So for line spacing, you need to click on this button over here in the paragraph group of Home tab. So line spacing means spacing between the lines. Now there are two types of spacing, students. Please understand that very carefully. Just a second. First, let me apply a line spacing here. So I have applied line spacing and wait. You can see here between the lines there is some space. Between each line there is some space. So this is what line spacing. Got it? It's very essential to understand spacing between the lines. Here also between the lines there is space, that it is a very less space. Sometimes there could be zero spacing between the lines. That is, each line you have to just think of it as a ruled page, and if you are writing something on the first line, like this is my first line of text, this is my second line of text, right? So there is no space between these. This is the third line. So here you see that there is no space. But if you give some space, like this is first line, this is second line, so you are giving a spacing of one line in between. Got it? So this is your line spacing. Is that clear to everybody? So this is the spacing between line. This is line spacing, and there is space between paragraphs. So how to understand that? Just a sec. Between.
Ma'am.
Now you can see that there are paragraphs and there should be space between paragraphs. So this is first paragraph. Okay. Then there is a blank paragraph over here. So this is the second paragraph. This is the third paragraph. Let me not use numbering here. This is one paragraph. This is the second paragraph, third paragraph, fourth paragraph, fifth paragraph. Then there is again a blank paragraph. Then you have this paragraph pancake. Then you have a paragraph here. Then you have a paragraph here. And you have a paragraph here. Can you see wherever I have inserted arrows, all those mark the beginning of a new paragraph, right? Now space between the paragraphs, that is in between the paragraphs, if you give any space, so that is paragraph spacing. And here also we have two types. One is spacing before paragraph and spacing after paragraph. Sometimes it is also known as, before is also known as above paragraph, and after paragraph is also known as below paragraph. Got it? So that is above the paragraph, this is what? Before, and after the paragraph, this is known as, okay, above the paragraph, before, and below the paragraph, after. So we can also provide spacing before a paragraph and after a paragraph. Got it? Let's do this over here. So you can see we have these paragraphs here. So I'm going to select all the paragraphs, right? And now I will be going to this option here, that is line and paragraph spacing. Okay. And I'm going to go for this one, add space before paragraph, add space after paragraph. So when I click on I add space before paragraph, so you can see that there is some paragraph spacing which is added before each paragraph, right? If I take a screenshot of it, then you have to see, just see this selected portion. So you can see over here, this much paragraph, this much spacing has been added before this paragraph, right? So wherever there is spacing added, extra spacing is added above the paragraph, it is known as before paragraph. Before paragraph spacing, right? And same way, if you add spacing below the paragraph, so I'm using Control Z. Now again I go to this option, add space after paragraph. Okay, so now the spacing has been added below the paragraph. So you can see here that the spacing has been added here. Got it? So this is after or below paragraph spacing. Students, is paragraph and line spacing clear to everyone? Give me a quick feedback.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is spacing clear? Spacing before paragraph, after paragraph,
Yes, ma'am.
spacing in between the lines. That is something which you have to keep a close watch, right? Now, these options you can also access by going to the dialog box. So how will you go to the dialog box? You can see this paragraph launcher button over here. Okay, so you click on this paragraph launcher and you get the paragraph dialog box. And here you get some options. This is the first tab of it, that is indents and spacing. The first option is alignment. So you'll get all types of alignment over here. Second is indentation. So I'm coming to indentation in a little while. And over here you find spacing. So here it is before spacing, after spacing. And you can see a preview of your selected paragraph also. So if you provide before spacing, so you can see that spacing above the paragraph is increasing. And if you click on after spacing, you can see the spacing below the paragraph is increasing, right? And you can find line spacing also. By default, it is single, that is no space in between. Single means this, the first option. This is single line spacing. Okay, and then slowly you can go on increasing it 1.5 lines, double at least. Okay, exactly, and multiple. So we will be seeing all these in a short while, right? Now we come to indentation. Now what is indentation? Already I had told you about indentation, students. Now, firstly, this is your left margin, right? This part is your left margin. And this is your right margin. So now over here, this is, you can see that the text, the left edge of the text, this side of the text, it directly starts from the left margin. But what if I want to give some space over here and then start the paragraph? So there I would be providing that extra space between the margin and the paragraph, that is known as indentation. So from this side it will be left indentation and from this side it will be right indentation. So let's see this. So I'm going to take this paragraph over here only and I'll go to paragraph, and here you can see currently the indentation has been set to 0 inches from both sides. If you click on this upper button, so you can see the indentation is increasing by 1 point each. So I've given 0.5 inches indentation from the left side. Click on OK and you can see there is some space left this side. Right? Okay, let's take a screen snip and I'll be explaining this. So from this side you can see there is, here it is how much? The indentation is 0. Why? Because right over here you have the left, you have the left margin. Wait a sec. You can just see it over here. I have also dragged the scale over here. So you can see that your left margin is over here. Okay, so this is your left margin, this side, right? So, and here, this is the left margin and this extra space which is given, this is your left indentation, right? That is, this much is your margin, LM, that is left margin, and this space which is given, that is the left indentation, extra spacing from the left side. And if you take the case of, if I'm selecting this paragraph and now again I go to the paragraph dialog box and you go to the right side. Now 5 inches of 0.5 inches of indentation I have provided from right side. Click on OK and you can see extra spacing this side also. Okay, so you can see I have just clicked this to show you the right margin and how much extra space is left from the right margin. So now here you have the right margin. This is your right margin. And this extra space is your right indentation. Got it, everyone? So this is right indentation. This is left indentation, and here this is your left margin, right? So extra space which you are providing from either sides, okay, that is known as indentation. Now there is another toolbar option for providing indentation over here. So you can see these two buttons over here. This one is decrease indent, this is increase indent. So if I just click on decrease indent, you can see that the indentation from both sides indentation is decreasing, and if you click on this, indentation is increasing, but only from the left side. Okay, so this shortcut keys are given to you so that you can only increase or decrease the indentation from the left side, right? If you want to handle both sides, you have to go to paragraph settings, and from here you have to set it to 0. Now there are two more indentations. We had studied this before also. So we go to this dialog box. You can see special, that is first line, and hanging indent. These are two types of other indents which are applied on the first line of the paragraph, right? So I'm going to give some indent here, like I'm giving zero point 0.5 indentation from the left side, and this is the indentation on the paragraph, that is the complete paragraph. Again I go back and special indent I select as first line, and I increase this to 1 inch. Click on OK, and you can see extra spacing over here. So let me explain this. So here, first of all, this is your left margin. This is your left indentation, and this much of area which is given, this is your first line indent. Again I am repeating, left margin, left indentation, first line indent. Extra spacing you give to the first line of a paragraph, that is known as first line indent. And apart from this, again I go back and here I select hanging indent and click on OK. This is your hanging indent. This is your left margin, right? And this is your original indentation which is given, that is left indentation, and this much of area is your hanging indent. Hanging indent means whatever you have provided in hanging indent. Like here I have provided a hanging indent of 1 inch. So except the first line, that extra 1 inch will be applied to all other lines of the paragraph. So it appears as if the rest of the paragraph is hanging by the first line. So this is hanging indent. It's clear to everyone, types of indentation. Okay. Any doubts here? You can ask me. Yes, Atharv Singh. Yes, Atharv Singh, you had raised your hand. You want to ask any doubt? Anybody, any doubt, please ask me. If you have understood it, please give me a thumbs up so that I am able to move forward. Fine. So this was indentation and spacing between paragraphs and between the lines. So this, anything which is applied, any type of formatting which is applied on the paragraphs as a whole, okay, those are known as paragraph formatting, right? And you can also apply this to all the paragraphs. Like I'm selecting all the paragraphs here, and you'll be able to see I'm applying indentation on all. So I'll go to paragraph and I'm giving some indentation, 0.5 inches indentation from left, 0.5 inches indentation from the right, special first line, that is 1, and click on OK. And now you can see that indentation is provided to all the paragraphs, and all the paragraphs have the first line indent. I select them. Again, I go back and select hanging indent. So this is hanging indent which has been given to all the paragraphs. You can also handle,
Ma'am,
yes, yes,
ma'am, in that when we choose that first line indentation, there is one option of by. Ma'am, what is that?
which one? By means by how much you want to choose. That is, you had seen that I had deleted this and provided one. That is first line or hanging indent. I am giving extra indentation there. So that indentation value I am specifying here in by.
Okay, ma'am.
Now, another option of providing indentation is by going to your ruler bar over here. So in the ruler bar, you can see the topmost triangle. This is your first line indent. Just select the paragraphs and you can see how the indentation is happening here. This is your first line indent. This is the upper triangle which you see, that is first line indent. You got it? Then if I bring it back and I choose this one, this is your left indent. This whole thing, and you can see that I am holding this part. You can see that I am holding this part. This is for hanging indent. Okay. You can set this first line indent over here like this, and this makes it as hanging indent. Okay. And if you hold both of them, okay, there is a small bar over here. As you can see, this is for left indent. If you hold that and you move it, this will give left indent. But if you hold the below triangle only, that will be hanging indent. Okay, so you can see how it is. And the above triangle is your first line indent. Got it? So you can handle indentation by your ruler bar also, right? So this you can see I have reduced the hanging indent. Why was it done? Because you can see my cursor was placed in the first paragraph and then I provided left indent on it, right? Similarly, you can select all the paragraphs and you can just click here and you will get indentation. So you can handle these indentations by your this line also. So I've selected everything and I'm going to click over here, right? And I can also handle indentation using the ruler bar. Same way, going to the right side. This is your right indent. So if I just select, I have the cursor placed in this paragraph. Now I'm just selecting this and this is right indent. Okay. Always make sure that indentation doesn't go beyond the boundaries of your margin. It shouldn't go into the shaded part. Okay. Because this shaded part, it marks the boundaries. It is the margin. Nothing should be there in the margin area, right? Otherwise, you will get errors during printing, right? Some part of the text might cut out of the page. Might go out of the page. So you should avoid writing anything in the margin area. You can no doubt reduce the margin size to narrow, but still there should be some margin. It should not be like you are not providing any margin space in your document. Fine. After this, we are going to see how to change font color, highlighting and background color for your text. So font color is very easy. Select your text and here we have in the font group, you can see in the home tab font group, you have this option for font color. So this is the color which is selected. Click on it and that color is applied. If you want more options, you go to this button here, and you can get more options for font color over here. And you can also go to gradient. Either you can go to more colors, select colors from here. You have two options: standard, that is some colors are given here, and custom, that is if you want you can create your own custom color by placing this pointer, okay, this color picker tool anywhere, which will pick up a certain hue or certain shade, certain color, and from here this slider you can handle the intensity of color, lightness or darkness of color, right? And click on OK, and that color gets applied. And you also have gradient option like these, okay, and I already told you that gradient options don't go very well with your text, okay, but still it has been provided. If you want more gradients, click on more gradients. With this you will get a right hand side panel here where you have three options: no fill, that is you can see that the color is transparent now. Select solid fill. From here you can select only one color, like I've selected one single color, and from this you can handle its transparency. Like I have reduced its transparency, increased its transparency. See, transparency, if it is 0, then it means it is opaque. Okay. There are two terms you should understand that. One is transparent, that is see-through. You can see through anything that is transparent. And one is opaque. Can't see through. That means if something is opaque, it means it will be completely colored, it will be completely shaded, and you can't see what is behind it, right? Glass is what? It is transparent. You can see through glass. But if you have a wooden block or plank of wood, then it is what? Opaque. You cannot see through that, right? So if you are setting the transparency as 0, if transparency is set to 0, it means it is opaque. Means 0 transparency means opaque. And transparency 100%, it means that it is transparent. Now in between you can set some point, that is you can increase the transparency, means it will be almost see-through. Okay, and see, I am setting the transparency to 100%, completely blank, you can't see anything. And if you set it back, you can see from this you can increase the transparency of a particular text, right? And you have gradient fill over here. So gradient fill I had explained to you. Select any preset gradient. These are some predefined gradients, so you can select any of them. You can set its type: radial, rectangular, okay, path, right? And gradient stops also you can set. Like over here, these are the gradient stops. These are the gradient stops, right? That is, you can see over here, this is stop 1, stop 2, and stop 3. And these are two buttons which are given. This is add gradient stop, this is remove gradient stop. I want to remove the third one, so I'll select the third one and click on delete. So only two gradient stops are there. I want to add another one, I can click on this, so another one will be added, right? Select any gradient stop and give some color to it. Like I'm selecting red color for the first one. For the second one, I'm selecting yellow color. For the third one, I'm selecting blue color. Got it? So you got a nice rainbow type effect on your text. Can you see this? So you can even you can even provide gradient color settings to your text. And next is, this was text color. Text color is also known as font color, students. Please mark this or write it somewhere. Text color is also known as font color. Right? And next will be the background color, that is paragraph background shading, right? So how do we provide a background color to the paragraph? You go to the paragraph group and you get this option, shading. Change the color behind the selected text, paragraph or table cell. Okay. And right now it is set to transparent, that is no fill. If you want to set a color, click on the drop down arrow and from here you can select any color style. Okay. And you can see that that color has been applied in the background. Again, you want to change. These are some standard colors. These are some shaded colors. And you only get an option of more colors here. No gradient in the background. Okay. So you can select any color in the background. So always students, now see, you can understand something from here. Is the text readable in this? Can you read the text comfortably?
No, ma'am.
Why? Give me the reason why.
Ma'am, because of the colors.
Because of the colors, you can see that somewhere the color is almost matching the background. You know, the first golden rule is you should always have contrasting colors, means colors which have a massive difference. The font color should be much different from the background color. If background color is lighter, font color should be darker. If font color is darker, font color is lighter, background should be dark. Right? Like I'm going to take the second paragraph here and I'm going to give a background color, like I have chosen this background color, blue, and I'm going to go to font color, provide a lighter font color. Now is the text readable? Are you able to read the text
Yes,
now?
ma'am.
Ma'am,
Why? Can you tell me why?
Because the
Ma'am,
color
because we
is
have used
adjusted to the
contrasting
text
colors.
that we can see.
One at a time, dear. Please raise your hands. I'll give you time to answer. I couldn't make out what you said. Raise your hands, students. Okay, yes, Samarth.
Ma'am, because we have used here contrasting colors means the background is darker and the text is lighter. So we are able to read this.
And how will you differentiate it with the first paragraph? What makes the first paragraph unreadable according to you? Just give your opinion.
Ma'am, ma'am, because on the font color we have used red colors and red color which is and the pink background which is also dark and we are not able to read that.
Yes, certain parts you cannot read, like this part, the red part you cannot read because it is almost matching the background color. Okay, and the other parts also, it is quite, you can say it is very much straining to the eyes. You have to strain your eyes a lot. So that is why avoid giving gradient to text. Okay, or even if you give the gradient, it should be very subtle. It should be very like बहुत ज़्यादा difference नहीं दिखना चाहिए. Like here, I'm selecting the text and I'm going to give a gradient of yellow and white. So you can see here that this is yellow and white works better because both yellow and white, they are what? They are contrasting colors to the background. So here I have provided a kind of a gradient of yellow. You can see some shades of light shades of yellow and white over here, but that difference is not too much. Okay, you are still able to read the text. So the gradient which you provide to the text, it should be in such a way that it should not at all mix with the background, right? So keep these things in mind, which will help you in creating better professional looking documents. Okay, so our time is up. So with this, I'll end today's class. Any doubt here, students?
No, ma'am.
So tomorrow